The phone rang while I was washing a cup. I remember that because it slipped from my hand and shattered before I even answered. I stared at the broken pieces and said, "Hello," like nothing bad could reach me through glass. "Is this Armin?" the voice asked. "Yes." "Who is this?" I said. "This is City General Hospital. Please come immediately." My heart dropped. "What? What happened?" There was a pause. "Too long. Your wife was brought in after an accident." I laughed once. "That's not possible. She's at her sister's house." Another pause. "Sir, please come." I grabbed my keys. "Just tell me if she's okay." "She's critical," the voice said. I don't remember the drive. I remember parking crooked, running past security, shouting her name. A nurse blocked me. "Sir, wait." "I'm her husband," I said. "Move." She looked at my face and stepped aside. The doctor was old. His eyes were tired. He didn't rush. That scared me more than shouting would have. "Doctor," I said, "where is my wife?" He took a breath. "Mr. Armin, we did everything we could." I smiled. "You haven't answered me." "I'm sorry," he said softly. "No," I said. "Say it properly." "I'm sorry for your loss." My ears rang. "Loss of what?" "Your wife passed away." I shook my head. "No, you're mistaken." "She suffered internal injuries," he said. "She didn't make it." I laughed again. "You should check again." He looked down. "You can see her." They took me to a room with white sheets. Too white. Too clean. She looked asleep. Peaceful. Wrong. I touched her hand. Cold. "Wake up," I said. "This joke isn't funny." "Nothing." I bent closer. "Please." Still nothing. I looked at the doctor. "She's breathing." He shook his head. I pressed my ear to her chest. "I can hear it." "You're in shock," he said. I screamed. "No, you are wrong." The nurse cried. That made it real. I grabbed her face. "You promised me dinner tonight," I whispered. "You promised." Silence answered me. I sat on the floor. "This is my fault." The doctor said, "It wasn't." "I argued with her this morning," I said. "I told her to leave if she wanted." My chest burned. She listened. My mother arrived first. She didn't cry. She held my face. "Breathe." "I killed her," I said. She shook her head. "No." My best friend Samir came next. He said my name. I didn't respond. At home, the bed was untouched. Her pillow still smelled like her. I lay on her side. "Come back," I said. "I'll never argue again." The funeral was loud. Too many voices. Too many eyes. "She was so young," someone said. "You'll remarry," another whispered. I wanted to punch them. Samir said, "Ignore them." "I didn't protect her," I said. "You loved her," he replied. I wasn't enough. My mother sat beside me. "Stop punishing yourself." "I sent her away," I said. "She chose to go," she answered. I watched them lower her coffin. "This isn't happening." That night I spoke to her picture. "I'm sorry." No reply. I stared at the door. "You'll walk in." Nothing moved. I whispered, "I promise I'll wait." I closed my eyes. "I'll never move on." And I believed it. I didn't live after she died. I existed. Every morning I woke up and said her name out loud. "Come on," I whispered to the ceiling. "This is enough now." Nothing answered me except the fan. My mother would knock. "Eat something." "I'm not hungry," I said. "You haven't eaten since yesterday." I ate. I lied. She stood there. "Armin, look at me." I turned away. "If I look, you'll see I'm fine." "You're not," she said quietly. At night I talked to her photo. "You'd laugh at this place," I said. "Same dust, same noise." The photo stayed silent. Samir called me every day. "Come back to work." "I can't," I said. "You need routine." "I need her." "You need to survive," he replied. Months passed like that. Then one night, my mother sat beside me and said, "We need to talk." I already felt sick. "About what?" "She left something behind." My heart skipped. "What do you mean?" She looked down. She was pregnant. I stood up. "That's not possible." "She was," my mother said. The doctor confirmed. My head spun. "Why didn't anyone tell me?" "You weren't ready," she replied. I laughed. "I buried my wife. You think I'm ready now?" "She's gone," my mother said. "But your child isn't." I felt the ground move. "A child?" "Your son," she said. I whispered, "My son." Months later, I held him for the first time. He was small, fragile, breathing. The nurse smiled. Congratulations. I couldn't speak. My mother said, say something. I looked at him. I don't know how. She touched my shoulder. You'll learn. I stared at his face. You look like her. He moved his fingers. I grabbed one. Don't leave me, I said. He didn't answer, but he held on. The first night at home, he cried for hours. I panicked. What do you want? My mother laughed softly. Food. I fed him wrong. He cried louder. I'm sorry, I said. I'm new. My mother said, talk to him. I leaned close. It's just you and me now. He stopped crying. That scared me. Samir visited. He's beautiful. I don't deserve him, I said. You do, Samir replied. He's yours. Work became necessary. Not healing. Necessary. I told my boss, I need flexible hours. He nodded. Family first. Every night I told my son stories. Your mother was strong, I said. She smiled like this. Sometimes I cried while he slept. My mother watched me. You're changing. I don't have a choice, I said. You do, she replied. You chose him. 3 years passed quietly. He learned to walk. He fell. I lifted him. He said his first word. Abu. I froze. Say it again. Abu. I cried harder than I did at the funeral. One night I told him, you saved me. He laughed, not understanding. I wasn't healed, but I was standing. And for the first time I felt balance. I never expected to see her again. Not like this. Not after 3 years of silence, grief, and half-forgotten dreams. But there she was, laughing, holding another man's hand, sunlight glinting off her hair. I froze in the middle of the street. My heart thumped so hard I thought it would explode. My hands trembled. My son tugged at my sleeve. Abu. I blinked. She didn't see me yet. Not at first. Are you sure? The man beside her asked, his tone smug. I am, she said, voice light, careless. I couldn't move. My son's small hand clutched mine. I wanted to pull him back, but I couldn't look away. My wife was alive. Alive and standing there, pretending like nothing had happened. I whispered, no, this can't be real. She laughed again. My chest tightened. That laugh used to be mine to hear alone. I took a step forward. My son held on to me. Abu? He asked again. I shook my head and whispered, stay close. Then her eyes met mine. For a second, nothing. Then recognition hit. Her face shifted, shock, guilt, fear, confusion. Armin? She breathed. I laughed. Not with joy. Not with relief. Not with anything good. I laughed like a man who had been broken. Do you really expect me to answer to that? I. Save it, I said. My voice was quiet but sharp. My son looked up at me, eyes wide. I held him closer. The man beside her stiffened. Who's this? I didn't flinch. He's mine. She took a step toward us. Armin, wait, please. Don't, I said. My voice shook. Don't speak to me. Don't speak to him. She looked at my son. Her eyes went wide. Is that? I didn't answer. I held him tighter. I didn't mean for. I laughed bitterly. You didn't mean for anything. You faked your death. You disappeared. And now you show up smiling, holding his hand, pretending life didn't happen? She flinched. Armin, I can explain. Explain? Explain what? That you left me alone for 3 years? That I cried every night, thought you were dead, raised your son alone? Her lips trembled. I had no choice. No choice. I spat the words. You had a choice every damn day. You chose to disappear. You chose to leave me here broken. You chose to let me suffer. The man beside her stepped closer. He doesn't understand. I looked at him. Straight into his arrogant eyes. I understand perfectly. You took what was mine. You stand there smug thinking you've won. But I survived. I raised my son. I lived when you didn't care to. She covered her mouth. Armin, please listen. Listen to what? I asked, voice low, trembling with rage and disbelief. That you're alive? That you're happy while I paused, shaking my head. My son whimpered. I looked down at him. His small hand reached for me. I pressed my lips to the top of his head. You can't touch him, I said to her. He's mine. You left. You don't get him back. Her eyes filled with tears. I didn't know. You didn't know? I screamed, loud enough that people on the street stared. You didn't know that your absence shattered me? That your lie killed me inside? That every single day I hoped to see your face and it never came?" She shook her head. I thought it was the only way. I had debts, problems I couldn't solve. I was scared, Armin. I didn't know how to fix it. "You were scared," I repeated, voice breaking. "Do you know what it felt like to live every day thinking the woman I loved was dead?" "I'm sorry," she whispered. "Sorry?" I laughed. "Sorry doesn't fix this. Sorry doesn't bring back 3 years of emptiness. Sorry doesn't give my son a mother who stayed. Sorry doesn't undo the nights I held his tiny hands, wondering if I could do this alone." She stepped closer. "Armin, I never stopped thinking about you, about him." I held up my hand. "Don't. Just don't." "You walked away. You left me. You made your choice." The man beside her sneered. "You don't understand. Life isn't that simple." "Oh, I understand perfectly," I said. "Life is very simple. You make choices and you face the consequences. You left, you lied, and now your consequences are here. Your lies, your deceit, they meet reality." She cried. Tears streamed down her face. "Armin, please, I didn't." "You didn't what?" I demanded. "You didn't plan to destroy me? You didn't plan to vanish for years and then show up like nothing happened?" Her lover scowled. "Stop yelling at her." "Don't," I interrupted, voice ice cold. "You have no right. None of you do." I knelt beside my son. "He's mine," I said softly. "Everything you abandoned is mine now." She gasped. "Armin, please let me." "I won't let you touch him," I said. "I won't let you rewrite the past. You can't erase the pain you caused. You can't steal the years I lived without you. You don't get to undo your mistakes." Her hand shook. "I didn't mean to." "I don't care what you meant," I said. "Meaning doesn't matter. Actions do. You disappeared. You faked death. You left me alone. You left him alone. That's what matters." The man beside her spoke again. "You're overreacting." I glared at him. "No. You are underreacting. You are standing there thinking the world is yours because she returned. You are wrong. You have no claim. Nothing you took is yours to keep." My son tugged at my sleeve again. I looked down at him. "Don't be afraid," I whispered. "You are safe. He can't touch you." She fell to her knees. "Armin, I'm sorry. I never wanted." "You never wanted?" I repeated, voice low but lethal. 3 years and you never wanted? You had choices, every single day. You chose yourself. You chose fear. You chose cowardice." She covered her face with her hands. I can't. I shook my head. "No. You can't fix this. You can't bring back what you stole from me. You can't make me believe in you again. Not now. Not ever." Her lover finally stepped back, scowling. "You're making a scene." I looked at him. "I don't care. My world is broken and you are standing in the middle of it. You made it worse." She whispered, "Please give me a chance." I laughed bitterly. "Chance? You faked your death. You abandoned me and your child. Chance ended the day you left." The street around us blurred. Faces, cars, noise, they didn't exist. Only the truth remained. "You were alive," I said to her. "You were alive this entire time and I buried you every day in my heart." She shook her head. "I thought I was helping." "Helping?" I asked. "You think running away, lying, abandoning your family is helping? That's not helping. That's betrayal." Her lips trembled. I didn't know what else to do." "You didn't know?" I shouted. "I didn't know what to do either and I stayed. I survived. I raised my son. I loved him every day you were gone. And you." I stopped. My voice caught. My son looked up at me, eyes wide. I pressed my lips to the top of his head. "You're alive," I whispered again, to myself as much as to her. "And yet, you never existed the way I believed you did." She collapsed to the ground. "Armin, please don't." I turned away. My hands still shook. My heart still pounded. I held my son. "It's over," I said. "For all of us." I didn't look back as she wept. I didn't look back at him. I only looked down at my son, breathing softly in my arms. The truth hit me like a storm. The woman I mourned, the life I grieved for 3 years, had never existed. Only her shadow had haunted me. And now, finally, the shadow was gone. I didn't sleep that night. I sat on the edge of the couch, my son asleep in his crib, my mind spinning. She called the next morning. "Armin, please, can we talk?" I didn't answer. I let it ring. She called again. And again. Finally, I picked up. "Talk," I asked, my voice flat. "About what?" You deserve an explanation," she said. I laughed. A bitter, cold laugh. An explanation? You disappeared for 3 years. Do you know what you took from me? I know, she whispered. And I'm sorry. Sorry isn't enough. My fingers dug into the phone. Do you even understand what it felt like to believe you were dead? To mourn you every day? I know, she said again. I know I caused pain. I didn't know how to stay, Armin. I didn't know how to be honest with you, with myself. I shook my head. You didn't know? Do you know how many nights I spent crying? Talking to a photo? Asking you to come back? Do you know what it's like to raise a child alone, thinking his mother is gone? I didn't mean to leave you alone, she said. I thought it was better than watching us both struggle. Better? I spat. Better? You think vanishing is better? Yes, she admitted softly. At the time, I was scared, Armin. Afraid of failing you, failing him, failing myself. I laughed again. You failed all of us. You didn't fail just yourself. You failed me. You failed him. There was silence on the line. I could almost hear her tremble. Then she said quietly, I know I can't undo it, but I want to make amends. I didn't answer. Armin, don't call me that, I said. You don't get it. You don't get my life. You don't get what I went through. I wanted to explain everything, she said. The debts, the threats, I didn't see another way. You didn't see another way? I echoed. My voice sharpened. You disappeared. You left your husband. You left your child. That was your only way. Yes, she whispered. I was silent for a long moment. And him? I asked finally. The man standing beside you? He helped me, she said. I laughed dryly. Of course he did. You find someone else to hold your hand while I'm left holding nothing. He's not, I didn't. Save it, I said. My voice was low but lethal. I don't care. I've lived. I've survived. I've raised my son. And you? You hid, lied, played coward while I did what you couldn't. I know, she said. I know I hurt you. More than you know. Stop, I said. Stop talking. Just stop. Words are useless now. You're alive. You're smiling. You think that fixes anything? It doesn't. It never will. I'm begging you, Armin. I cut her off. I'm not begging. I'm done begging. I'm done shouting. I'm done breaking. You want my anger? You want my rage? Fine. But it won't change the past. It won't bring back what you stole. It won't give me back 3 years of emptiness. She sobbed softly. Armin, please listen. I sat down, clutching the phone like it was the only lifeline I had. My son stirred in his sleep. I pressed a finger to my lips, signaling silence. I'm listening, I said quietly, almost coldly. But understand this, I'm not yours to fix. I'm not yours to claim. You're late. Too late. I know, she said. I'm sorry. I tried to survive. I tried to protect you, him, myself. I thought disappearing was the only way. I shook my head. Disappearing is never protection. It's cowardice. And the world doesn't reward cowards. Her voice broke. I didn't know what else to do. I was drowning. And what about me? I asked softly. I was drowning too. And you left me to sink alone. I know, she whispered. I know. And I hate myself for it. I leaned back. Do you know how much I hated myself while thinking you were dead? How I blamed every word, every fight, every choice I made. I can't imagine, she said. Exactly. You don't imagine. You left. You abandoned. You don't live in the aftermath. You never do. She paused. Armin, can you forgive me? I laughed, sharp and bitter. Forgive you? Maybe one day. But not now. Not like this. Not without consequences. You can't just return and expect absolution. That's not how life works. Silence. Then she said, I understand. You will, I said. You will understand in time. And in that time I will protect him. I will protect what's mine. What you left behind. Her voice was quieter. I never stopped thinking about him, about us. I didn't answer. Later that day I called my lawyer. Armin, he asked. Everything okay? Not really, I said. But I need to understand my options. You mean legally? Yes, I said. I need to protect my son. I need to make sure she can't just come back and disrupt everything. Of course, he said. We'll review custody, inheritance, all of it. Don't worry. I hung up and stared out the window. My hands were steady now, my heart colder. Silence became my weapon. I didn't need to scream. I didn't need to beg. I needed control. The man beside her called my phone. You can't do this, he said. I can do everything, I said calmly. You just don't know yet. And neither does she. She called again. I didn't pick up. Instead, I watched my son play on the floor, smiling. I realized I didn't need her presence to survive anymore. I didn't need explanations. I didn't need apologies. I had him. That was enough. Her lover's cracks became obvious after that. Small arguments, subtle fear, visible jealousy. I watched from a distance, letting it unfold naturally. Karma was slow but inevitable. I didn't shout. I didn't react. I learned silence could speak louder than any scream. One afternoon, she tried to reach my son while I was at the park. Armin, please? I didn't move. He wants to see me. I knelt beside him. Do you want to see her? My son shook his head. I didn't hesitate. Then that's your answer, I said to her. You're cruel, she cried. I'm protecting him, I said calmly. And protecting him isn't cruel. She stared at me. Confusion, desperation, and finally, fear. I realized then that the power had shifted. She had returned, thinking she could manipulate the past, but I wasn't the same man. I didn't need her approval, her presence, or her lies. Silence, patience, and truth became my allies. I made my choice that day. I wouldn't beg. I wouldn't explode. I wouldn't play her game. I would let truth and karma work. And that was enough. It didn't happen all at once. Karma never hits like a storm. It creeps in, quiet, until suddenly everything is crashing. I heard the first news through a call. Armin, Samir said, voice low. You need to hear this. What is it? I asked, my stomach tight. He's lost everything. Business gone. Investors pulled out. I exhaled slowly. Finally, I said softly. Samir hesitated. You're not happy? I'm calm, I said. That's all. I'm calm. The man she had chosen over me, the one who held her hand while I buried her in my heart, he was unraveling. I didn't celebrate. I just observed. I hung up and watched my son play. Abu, I said softly. Do you see this? He giggled, tugging at my sleeve. I smiled faintly. He didn't understand, but he didn't need to. Later, I received a message from her. Armin, can we meet? I need to explain. For him. I didn't reply. Samir asked, aren't you going to respond? No, I said. She's already done enough damage. She tried again the next day. Armin, please, I just want to see him. I stared at the phone. My thumb hovered over the screen. I didn't delete it. I didn't reply. I just waited. My lawyer called. Armin, you've got documents to review. Custody agreements, financial statements. I listened quietly. I realized I held power now, not anger. I didn't need to yell. I didn't need to cry. I had control. Later that week, I met her at the park only because she followed us. Armin, please, she started. I stopped walking. Stop, I said firmly. Do not speak. You don't get to speak here. Not yet. Her lover stood behind her, nervous. She's only trying. Leave, I said. Come. Cold. Absolute. You're cruel, she cried. No, I said softly. I'm careful. I'm protecting him. She tried to reach my son. I held him back. He's mine. Not yours. She fell to her knees. I never meant. You never meant, I repeated. Those are just words. Actions matter. Yours destroyed lives. She sobbed. Please let me see him. I've changed. I shook my head. You can't undo the past. You can't erase what you did. Don't expect that from me. Her lover stepped forward, hesitating. Armin, you're? I looked at him. I am standing in the light of truth. You're standing in your own shadows. Leave now. They left. Finally. That night I told my son stories. Your mother made mistakes, Abu. Big mistakes. But we are here. Just us. Always us. He laughed. I held him close. Peace didn't feel like revenge. It felt like survival. Weeks passed. The documents arrived. Her lover's debts, her mistakes, the contract she had signed in my name long ago, all crumbling. I reviewed them quietly. Signed what needed signing. Nothing dramatic. I didn't gloat. I just moved forward. Samir said, you could fight more aggressively. I could, I said. But why? Karma is patient. It doesn't need my help. Her lover called once. Armin, you're making this personal? I'm making it right, I said. Nothing personal. Just facts. He didn't call again. Months later, a school event reminded me of everything. My son's first recital. She tried to appear, smiling, holding flowers. I didn't look at her. My son beamed at me. That was enough. Abu, let's go, I whispered. We're leaving. She called after us. Armin, he's mine too. No, I said, holding my son. Not anymore. Not ever. I watched her walk away, powerless to touch what I had built. And I felt no victory. Only calm. Bills came. Court dates. Financial hurdles. I handled them all. Not out of anger. Not out of revenge. Out of necessity. She tried one last time. Armin, please give me a chance. I've changed. I'll be better. For him. I shook my head. It's not about change. It's about consequence. You don't get to rewrite history. She sobbed. But I love him, I love you. I stepped back. You loved yourself more. That's enough. Her lover's arrogance cracked further. Small threats. Empty promises. I stayed silent, letting their own mistakes speak. The lawyer sent updates. She tried manipulating the agreements. I countered calmly. Not rage. Not shouting. Silence. Patience. Control. I began investing in my own career. Every deal, every client, every small victory built a life they could no longer touch. One evening I reviewed old photos. My son asleep, his tiny hand in mine the first time he walked alone. My mother watching silently. I whispered, we survived. We did it. She called once more. Armin, please. I didn't answer. Weeks later, a missed birthday reminded me of her absence. My son looked up, confused. Abu, where's she? I smiled faintly. She's not coming. Not today. And that's okay. We have each other. No anger. No hate. Just truth. And peace. Her lover's business fell completely. She tried to intervene to regain control. It failed. Naturally. Slowly. Predictably. I watched it unfold. Not joyfully but calmly. The world had corrected itself. The next day I took my son to the park. He ran laughing. I breathed deeply. No calls. No messages. Just life. Quiet. Honest. Mine. Samir said, you're different now. I am, I replied. Not bitter. Not vengeful. Just aware. And patient. Her name came to mind once. I closed my eyes. She will understand eventually, I whispered. When she sees the ruins, when she feels the weight of her choices. And that was enough. I didn't answer her calls for weeks. I didn't need to. Silence had become my weapon, my shield, my statement. Then one evening she appeared at our doorstep. Armin, her voice trembled. I didn't open the door. I leaned against it instead. Don't. Not now. Not ever. I came to apologize, she said, her voice raw. For everything. For leaving, for lying, for taking years from you. You can't give those years back, I interrupted softly but firmly. Not ever. I know, she whispered. But I need you to hear me. I need to tell you I'm sorry. I paused. My son slept in the next room. I could hear his soft breathing. That sound reminded me why I was calm, why I was strong. Come inside, I said finally, stepping aside. But I didn't move closer. Not to her. She entered, looking around like she had once called this home. I never should have run. I should have faced it all, faced you. I kept my arms folded. You didn't. You ran. Her eyes filled with tears. I know. I was scared. I didn't see another way. And now I see what I lost. I nodded slowly. It's too late for me. She shook her head. No. Not too late. I know I hurt you and I want you to know. Truly know. I regret every moment. I know, I said quietly. And I forgive you. Her lips trembled. Forgive me? Yes, I said. But forgiveness isn't reconciliation. I won't let the past control me. I won't let it touch my son. She swallowed hard. I understand. I thought coming back might fix things. But I see now it can't. Exactly, I said softly. It can't. The man who once held her hand, the one who stood beside her as if he could claim my life, had left. She admitted it herself a few nights ago. Fear, jealousy, and control had fractured him. She was alone now, finally facing the emptiness she had imposed on others. I never realized, she whispered, sitting on the couch cautiously. I never realized what I had until it was gone. I watched her. I wanted nothing from her anymore. No explanations, no excuses, no touch. Only acknowledgement of the truth. You lost me, I said. Not in a fight. Not in a moment. You lost me by being someone I didn't know existed. The woman I loved disappeared the day you left. Her hands shook. Armin, I understand. I hope you do, I said. And I hope you learn that some things aren't yours to reclaim. Some mistakes are final. She looked at me broken. I should have stayed. I should have faced it. I should have been honest. I was a coward. You were, I said softly. But that's behind us now. I bury her, the woman I mourned, the second time today. Not in anger. Not in hate. But in truth. She's gone. Her eyes widened. Gone? Yes, I said. I forgive, but I do not reconcile. She is gone from my life. My son and I continue. That is enough. She buried her face in her hands. I lost him. I lost you. Everything. I nodded. Yes, you did. She finally looked up. Do you hate me? No, I said. Hate is useless. Anger fades. What remains is control. I am in control now. I survived. I raised my son. I built a life despite you. Tears rolled down her face. I didn't know I didn't understand. Now you do, I said. And that's your lesson. I will never let you disrupt us again. She reached for me. I stepped back. Do not. You cannot touch what is mine. You cannot claim what you abandoned. You cannot undo the years you stole. I understand, she whispered again. I didn't speak. I let the silence grow. She couldn't argue, couldn't deny, couldn't manipulate. Silence became my final word. After a long moment, she left. Slowly. Step by step. Door closing behind her. I didn't watch. I only turned back to my son's room. I knelt beside him. Abu, I whispered, brushing a strand of hair from his forehead. Sleep well. Your past won't touch you. Not now. Not ever. He murmured, Abu? Yes, I said, holding him gently. Everything is fine. Later I reviewed my life quietly. Financial stability, professional growth, emotional control. I was no longer reactive. I didn't need revenge. I didn't need confrontation. I had peace. I had survival. I had my son. That was victory. She tried once more to contact me through mutual friends. I refused. Calmly. Politely. But firmly. No second chances. No openings. Only boundaries. Days passed. She realized fully what she had lost. She tried to rebuild elsewhere, alone, facing consequences she had never imagined when she first ran. I didn't gloat. I didn't celebrate. I simply observed from a distance. The universe had its balance. She had learned her lesson without me needing to act. One evening my son asked me, Abu, why doesn't she visit? I smiled faintly, brushing his hair back. Because some people aren't meant to be part of our story. But that's okay. We have our story, just us. And that story is enough. He hugged me small and tight. I held him close. I finally felt it, unbreakable. Not because I destroyed someone else. Not because I claimed revenge. But because I survived betrayal, deception, and abandonment. I became stronger than fear, stronger than grief, stronger than lies. I looked at him sleeping that night. Quietly. Peacefully. My heart steady. The past no longer had power over me. The shadows of betrayal, the echoes of a woman I once loved, the lies I mourned, all buried. Not violently. Not angrily. Simply gone. I whispered to the darkness, I bury her. For the second time. And this time she stays buried. My son stirred and smiled in his sleep. I kissed his forehead. We are free, I whispered. And I finally believed it. I had survived. I had risen. I had become unbreakable.